Well, alright. Looks like we have a bit of breaking tackle news, and this is going to be good news for all the Daiwa fans and fanboys. And that's because it looks like Daiwa USA is finally going to join the bait finesse party by bringing over not only one, but two bait finesse reels to the American market. Now, I personally knew this move would eventually come, but I thought it would happen much sooner due to the immense popularity of Shimano's CURADO bait finesse. But there's a saying, better late than never. So in this video, I'm going to show you a sneak peek of these two new reels, and of course, we're going to talk about them. Now, I have to admit that I didn't know about these two reels. They were brought to my attention by a subscriber, Shane McNair, I believe is his name. And the only place that has the information on these two reels is going to be this website called landbigfish.com. So here we are, and we're on their, I guess, all Daiwa products page. And if you look over here, way over to the right is the first BFS reel. Daiwa is calling the PX BF70 bait finesse reel. So let's click on that and let's take a look at this reel. Now, there's really only one picture and a brief description, but all us bait finesse veterans see this reel and we immediately know which reel this is. This is the Alpha's Air TW, which came out in 2024. And here it is on Daiwa Japan's webpage. And you can see it's pretty much identical. You got your dark grayish black frame. You got your two slots drilled out of the top plate, just like with the JDM model. And if you take a look at the very little bit of spool showing in this picture, you can see that the porting on it is exactly the same as the porting on the Alphas. So I'm not sure why Daiwa USA is calling it the PX BF70, as PX is, I guess, short for Pixie, which is Daiwa's original finesse bait caster. But if we take a look at the description, it says take your finesse fishing to new heights with the new Daiwa PX BF70 bait finesse bait casting reel. Meticulously engineered, this reel delivers unmatched performance and control with every cast, featuring an A7075 spool designed for extreme finesse. It boasts an ultra small caliber for precision. The air spool, weighing 56% less than the Tatula SV70, enables ultra finesse performance, complemented by ultralight micro ball bearings for exceptional support. T-wing blah 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 enhances your casting performance. Zero adjuster, aluminum frame and aluminum handle side plates, ultimate tournament drag. But here's something that's a little different. It says that the handle on this BF70 is going to be 90 millimeters. So I'm looking at this picture and I can't really tell if that's 90 millimeters or not, but it looks like it probably is. You can see that the skeletal handle, the porting section, is much longer than on the Alphas. At least it looks that way. But yeah, they're basically bringing over the Alpha's Air TW, possibly slapping on a longer handle and calling it the PX BF70, and it's going to have everything pretty much similar right down to the A7075 spool, which I think they still have it on Daiwa Japan's website. That is, I think, made for them by KTF. But anyway, as you can see, this reel is going to retail for $349, so $350. And gear ratio is going to be 7.1 to 1. The weight's going to be 5.6 ounces, 6 bearings. They're also going to have a 8.6 to 1 in right and left. So yeah, this is basically the Alphas coming over to America, being rebadged as the PX BF70. Now, since the Alphas has been out since 2020, almost 4 years now, there are tons of videos on this reel already, and I've made several myself. In fact, I'm probably the one guy that put this reel on the map by showing people how easy this reel can cast the 1 gram trout magnet. So before you plop your money on this reel, I would suggest you do your research. Make sure you know what you're getting into. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So now it's time to show you the second bait finesse reel that looks like Daiwa is coming out with here in America. That is going to be right here, the Tatula BF70. So apparently Daiwa is allowed to use the BFS, or the BF I should say, acronym. I personally would have used the Tatula Air, as it keeps that Air lineage that's been used by Daiwa for so long now. But let's check out this Tatula BF70. Now this is the reel that I expected them to come out with, not that PX reel. And let's take a closer look here. This is basically the Daiwa Tatula 80 or the 70 with a shallow bait finesse spool. So let's see here. Prepare to revolutionize your finesse fishing with the Daiwa Tatula BF70 bait finesse bait casting reel. That's redundant. This reel is a masterpiece of engineering designed to elevate your angling experience to new heights. At its core, the hyperdrive design ensures maximum power and efficiency, enabling you to cast longer distances effortlessly and gain the upper hand when it matters most. The A7075 Air Spool is a true finesse marvel, boasting lightweight yet precision engineered construction that reduces inertia, blah blah blah. T-wing, zero adjuster. They say fine-tuning your setup is a breeze thanks to the zero adjuster. Apparently they don't realize that Daiwa does not want you to touch that. Blah blah blah. Ultimate turnout drag, 90mm swept handle, and here's some more specs. As you can see, this is going to be $239, so $30 more than the current CURADO BFS. It's going to weigh in at 6.5 ounces, 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. There's going to be a, no, that's the ball bearings, 8.1 to 1. Do they have that put in the wrong place? I think they meant to put this up here and say this has 7 bearings. But yeah, unfortunately this is the only picture. But this reel is either going to be a Tatula 70 or Tatula 80 converted to a bait finesse reel. And looking at the spool, I think it's going to be a 70. Now, of course, they use the same frame, but the spool design is different. I think the 70 has a smaller spool and the short spool shaft. But I did a preview video probably like a year ago about this reel, the Daiwa Salamandura Air TW. That is a Chinese domestic market reel, and just look at the difference between what they get versus what we get. Look at that, two-tone paint job, air knobs. They get a much nicer handle and nut design, while we get this. But as you can see, hopefully I'm gonna pull up a bigger picture, but look at this spool right here. This is going to be the same spool, hopefully you guys can tell, That's a spool in this new Tatula BF70. You can tell because the ports are circular and there's this little line groove in the center, just like with the Salamandura. And that's because, once again, these are pretty much the same reels, just different paint jobs, different components. I mean, look at the zero adjuster on the Salamandura versus the Tatula. So yeah, if this is the same spool, it's going to be 30 millimeters and it's going to have a long spool shaft. And I believe it's weighing in at somewhere around 11 grams. So I think that these two reels are probably going to be unveiled at the upcoming Bassmaster Classic, which I think is in the last week of March. So we have about a month and 10 days until that tournament, where I predict these reels will be announced. I could be wrong, but there we go. We are getting two new Daiwa USA bait finesse reels in the new quote-unquote Daiwa PX BF70 and the Tatula BF70. So let me know what you guys think about this sneak preview. What do you think of these reels? Do you think we're getting lesser reels versus reels that are available in China? I mean, the look of this Salamandura has really grown on me. Look at that. I was very much gonna get one of these if Daiwa did not come out with a new bait finesse reel to compete with the CURADO BFS this year, but it looks like they have. So once again, let me know in the comments what do you guys think, and thanks a lot.